Hey, thank you so much for doing that. I apologize to everyone for my technical difficulties. Good morning. My name is Jennifer Peglow. My research experience was with the agricultural department at Penn State. If you could please forward to the next slide. All right. The overarching goal of the lab is to examine the soil structure in switchgrass fields for biofuel use. My research project centered around investigating earthworm abundance as an indicator of soil health in perennial grass agroecosystems. Switchgrass, like many perennial grasses, offers a wide variety of ecosystem services. Planting switchgrass for biofuel use helps to mitigate the severity of climate change effects from fossil fuel production and use. Yet this study sought to understand how soil health is impacted from its land use. At the time of this investigation, the switchgrass fields had yet to be planted. Therefore, the data collected here serves as a baseline indicator for change over time. 3 30-meter transects were used with 15 half-meter quadrats along each transect. A mustard powder extraction was used to extract earthworms from soil by mixing 1 gallon of water to 45 grams of mustard powder. This method was used for each of the quadrats along each transect. The mean abundance of earthworms was noted, and a classification chart was used to compare potential soil health to mean abundance of earthworms per transect. Overall results did not show any large statistical significance, yet literature reviewed suggests a higher earthworm abundance and biomass promotes significant benefits to soil health and stability over time. Therefore, yearly field surveys for earthworm abundance is recommended to identify any changes over time. This data compared to chemical soil health may provide greater insight into how long-term perennial grass field use influences soil health and stability. I want to thank everyone at CStats for their help this summer, as well as at Penn State, and I look forward to answering any questions in the breakout session.